Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful people, welcome to the 97 Republic YouTube channel, where I react to news and live events pertaining to different sports. So I kindly ask that you hit the like button and the subscribe button, as that would really help this channel grow. And to ensure that you don't skip a beat, click the notification bell as well. That way you can guarantee that you don't miss any of the action. Alright, so let's go. February. The month of love, isn't it? Looking for something sustainable, something to invest in, something that deserves your undivided attention, and something that you know won't waste your time, or the old symbiotic relationship. Well, look no further, because the UFC has scheduled events for February that will ensure that you don't get your heart broken. From the first event up until the last one, it guarantees for absolute cinema. With regards to fighters that you might be familiar with, even to fights that you would like to look out for, the UFC has you covered. You don't want to watch Eat, Pray, Love. You deserve better. And that's what the UFC is offering you. Offers you a way out. Starting with the first event in February, UFC Fight Night, Adesanya versus Imavov. Now, with regards to this fight, right, a fighter you might be familiar with in the heavyweight division, Sergey Pavlovich taking on Darzinho Rosenstruck. Now, it's safe to assume a pillow might be needed for this fight, because someone's going to sleep. And someone is falling asleep in this fight. Judges won't be needed. They can rest in the dressing room and ensure that they are ready for whenever they would be needed. Won't be in this fight. And then we move on to the middleweight division, a division that seems to be emphasized throughout the entirety of February, where Shara Bullet Magomedov is taking on Michael Venom Page. Shara Bullet being the guy that gave us the double spinning backfist knockout highlight. Never seen before, and probably will never be seen ever again. Facing Michael Venom Page, who is not only one of the most decorated, but one of the most unorthodox strikers in the UFC. Like, if you want to see leather get thrown around, don't even need to go to a vegan convention. You'll see it in this fight. And you know where you'll also see it? In the main event. Israel Adesanya taking on Nasruddin Imavov. Now, this will be the first time in 13 fights where Israel Adesanya will not be fighting for a championship. Not only is that a testament to Izzy's dominance, but also a testament to Izzy's longevity, seeing that he has put up highlight reel after highlight reel, entertaining us every single fight. And that is sustainable, but that is something that you can invest in. But with regards to Izzy's career, and Nasruddin Imavov's career, it feels like it is trending in opposite directions. Where Izzy has lost his last two fights for the first time in his life, and Nasruddin Imavov, after losing to Sean Strickland, beat Roman Dolidze, then went on to beat Canonnier, and then went on to beat Brendan Allen. So he's on a 3-fight winning streak. It is safe to assume that if Nasruddin had to beat Izzy, he might be in the title implications. Now, not for the next fight, but potentially for the next title fight after the next title fight. Now, you wanna watch when Harry met Sally? Show your girlfriend a true romantic movie, a romantic blockbuster. Or show her when Imavov fought Izzy. And then moving on to the main course, UFC Fight Night, Adesanya versus Imavov serving as the appetizer for the main course. UFC 312, Dricus defending his middleweight championship against Sean Strickland in a rematch. The first fight happening over a little bit more than a year ago. And this is the rematch. One of the most highly anticipated fights of the year. You want to watch 51st dates? How about 51st round punches to the face? Izzy, Nasruddin, then Dricus, and Sean. Right? Dricus undefeated inside of the UFC. Sean Strickland felt like he never lost the belt in the first fight. Felt like he won the first fight. So a lot to set. Both men want to make an impression. Now, talk about first impressions. This is a chance for both of them. A chance for redemption. A second impression. It is bound to be an incredible movie. And then we look at the co-main. where Zhang Weili takes on Tatiana Suarez in the strawweight division for the strawweight championship of the UFC. And whenever Zhang Weili fights, it is high octane, it is incredible, it feels like you can't blink. And whenever Tatiana fights, the exact same thing happens. So you will know for a fact it's going to be an incredible co-main event. And then we move on to the fight just before that, a heavyweight fight. Justin Tafa, a lot of power in those big ass hands, taking on a guy that makes his debut with Talison Teixeira. I would not be wanting to make my debut against a guy like Justin Tafa, but he says he'll do it. It's going to be an incredible fight. Somebody's probably going to sleep in that fight as well. A lot of pillows. It seems like we will need a lot of pillows by just looking at the first two events of February for the UFC that they've scheduled. And then we move on to the third event, UFC Fight Night, Canonnier versus Rodrigues. You want to watch the fault in our stars? No. Rather show your girlfriend the assault on our stars. Main card, middleweight division, Edmund Shabazian taking on Dylan Badka. Edmund Shabazian, once being a prodigy within the UFC, went on a losing streak. Now it seems like he is resurrecting his career. You want to talk about a second chance? You want to talk about redeeming yourself? You want to talk about using what could be your last opportunity to ensure that you make things right happening in front of our very eyes? Then we go to the co-main of Calvin Kattar taking on Yusuf Zalal in the featherweight division. Calvin Kattar being on a 3-fight losing streak, Yusuf Zalal being on a 3-fight winning streak. You want to talk about opposites attract? Obviously, Calvin Kattar feels like something is wrong. Yusuf Zalal feels like everything is perfect, bound to be confirmed. Who will be proven right? Who was right? Everything building up to a climax. In the main event, Jared Cannonier taking on Gregory Rodrigues, once again in the middleweight division, where Jared Cannonier lost his last 2 fights. Gregory Rodrigues, 3-fight winning streak. You want to talk about a cliffhanger? Gregory Rodrigues, as tall as a cliff. You want to talk about something sweet? You want to see a lullaby? Maybe your girlfriend wants to see a bedtime story? Well, might happen. Someone might go to sleep. And then we move on to the last event of February. Right? UFC Fight Night, Cejudo versus Yadong. And do you know where this fight night is taking place? As if it is aligned in the stars. As if the UFC is trying to tell you something. As if it is a match made in heaven. It's taking place in Seattle. So either you can watch Sleepless in Seattle or Put to Sleep in Seattle. Where we have Edson Barbosa on the main card, one of the guys with the most impressive knockout highlights in the lightweight division's history. And then in the next fight in the heavyweight division, we have a match not so made in heaven, where a guy is making his debut. Now his name is Rizvan Kuniev. And he's making his debut against a top 5 middleweight, probably in the world, in Curtis Blades. Now, Rizvan was on the Contender Series. 1-2 fights on the Contender Series, he gets a UFC contract. And then he fights Curtis Blades in his first fight. Now, if I was Rizvan, obviously would have been stoked. I'm on the UFC. I go to Dana White, congratulations, and thank you, Dana. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I can't wait for my debut. I can't wait. Whoever you put in front of me. Oh, Curtis Blades. In his first fight in the UFC, Rizvan is fighting Curtis Blades. Good luck. Now, he has Riz in his name. Don't think it would be of any use or benefit in the scenario. But hey, if you want to talk about suspenseful, something happening that might have a lot of suspense, probably this fight. Who knows what would happen? Then we move on to the bantamweight division, where the promised one returns, right? The guy with the first impressions, right? The guy that steals the show. Rob Font taking on Dominic Cruz, where Dominic is returning for the first time since August 2022. Now, you want to talk about a dramatic entrance? Doesn't get any more dramatic than Dominic Cruz re-entering the bantamweight division of the UFC. And then on to the main event. Bound to be an incredible fight. Henry Cejudo taking on Song Yadong. It is insane. Number 6 in the bantamweight rankings, taking on number 7. Just an absolute treat. So don't go and watch Eat, Pray, Love. Go for something you deserve. Where the UFC has you covered.